Welcome back to another episode of the Lenders Gone Wild podcast. I'm your host, Matt Meyer, joined by friend and colleague Reynette Oliver. Reynette.
Hey, Matt.
Cheers. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So before we jump in, wanted to just give a little context. Those of you who don't know, Lenders Gone Wild is just a place for us to tell stories. We're going to hear about Reynette's story a little bit. We're going to get to hear some of the wild side of the real estate and mortgage and lending world that, frankly, most of you probably don't know about. You may have heard a story here or there, but we get to see all things in this business, right? We run into a bunch of really interesting situations. So we're going to tell a little bit about those stories and just get a chance to, most of all, get to know you, Reynette, a little bit. So give me a little background. Tell me about how did you get, like, what are you doing in the lending space right now, and kind of how did you arrive there?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm in investment lending, so private money, which is perfect because I work lovely alongside you and all of your people. But it's all investment real estate. So I mean, gosh, I was born in California. I worked in banking for 9 years for WAMU. And then we moved here. I stayed home with my kids. I worked at the church with your wife. And then after that, that was about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
One of my friends that I knew at the time said, you should really come and meet my boss, Mike. We could use people with good work ethic. But I knew nothing about real estate, nothing. Okay. It's 2014, 2015. And I met him, and he just hired me on the spot. And he sent me to get my real estate license to do wholesaling exclusively. So he's my real estate broker and now my mortgage broker. But at the time, so he has a hard money lending company, right? PE lending. And I was just like a sliver, you know, like on the real estate side of his brokerage. So at that point,
you're just doing wholesale.
Just wholesaling, yeah. And like on a straight draw for 3 years, I did really well, but it was before all the big iBuyers. So
sure.
As soon as, I mean, We Buy Ugly Houses was always out there, but that was pretty much it.
Yep.
You know, so I was bringing the buyer, the seller, writing the contract, the assignment, putting in the earnest, doing everything.
Yep.
And I loved it, but 2017, you know, all the, OfferPad, Open Door, Doug Hopkins, which he's been around a lot longer.
Dipped their toe in the water for a minute.
Yeah. And their marketing budgets are outrageous, and they have,
and their ability
people doing
to pay,
disposition.
They overpaid for a lot of houses.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They just wanted the, inventory corner of the market. And I mean, I'm one person, right? I mean, Net Worth Realty, Keekley, all them like just blew up, and they had hundreds of people and billboards and commercials. And I thought the writing was on the wall. So I think it's time for me to move out of this space. I love the company. I loved what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I love Mike, the owner of our company. So got together a proposal, and I talked to him about getting my LO. We at the time had one loan originator for our company. Okay. We're small.
Yeah.
And I talked to her, and I said, listen, don't you think it makes sense for there to be more than one of you? And she agreed. I talked to Mike, and he's like, go get your license.
Great.
And I said, I want a salary, though. I'm tired of this draw, And so I still would do and still do all the real estate stuff for our company. I'm one of the only ones in our real estate brokerage. It's just him, myself, and then we just hired, I don't know about name dropping, but Lisette just pulled her license over to our company. Yeah. So, and then Eva, her good friend, we just asked her to go get a broker's license. So Mike isn't the GB anymore. So we're kind of growing that out, but that's a separate, totally aside. So I got my license, and then within maybe a week of passing the test, the LO, who's my friend for our company, got cancer.
Oh, geez.
And she was out for a year. I mean, she's a badass. I mean, she still did what she could do from home and coming in off weeks, when she wasn't low immunity, but like 16 weeks of treatment, or 16 rounds of treatment a year. And so I was just thrown in, like, thank God I have my license because no one else was there. And at that time, I was doing the underwriting and originating. right? For
Yeah,
all of
your
our
underwriting's
loans.
a little different, right? Like
Very
You're
different.
just making a business decision based on the private money.
Yeah,
And
so
Mike has
we're
probably some guidelines, and the investors probably have some
we
stipulations.
do, right? Yep. So we've got parameters and things that we have to adhere to,
Yep.
that are in our PPMs for our capital investors. So we're just straight high net worth individuals, not bank leverage, none of that. So
Great.
when we underwrite, but we have myself, my other LO, and the owner of my company, we have our real estate licenses. So we ran comps, valuate in-house,
Yep.
and figured out what the value was if we had to sell it quickly. And so
Yeah.
then we would determine what our terms would be based on that.
Makes
So
sense.
doing all of that, then as she kind of was getting better, thank God she's great,
Good.
she came back in, and our CFO at the time says, God, she is so good at like the details and underwriting and really, making a deal work. And you're so good at bringing in the business. Why don't we just split it? Like instead of one person bringing in and underwriting every,
Yeah, why don't you
So we're
create
not
like an assembly
competing.
line instead of
Right,
running parallel
right.
to each other doing the same
which is
functions?
sort of similar to traditional mortgage brokerages, but also very different to what we had done.
Yeah.
So we started doing that. I mean, that was 7 years ago, and the rest is. And I've moved up and moved over and changed positions, and it's been the best ride of my life. Like
That's
it is
awesome.
the best thing I've ever done. Other than my kids, I love what I do. Like
Yeah.
true, I don't know anyone that loves what they do as much as I do. I
that's
really
really
friggin'
cool.
love it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just no emotion. It's just numbers. So
Yeah, and you're really good, right? I can attest to some of the deals we've put together, right? Like the ability to find that solution
Yeah.
and be able to run the numbers and create the thing that both makes sense for the consumer and
Yeah.
right for your investors is right. It's a unique skill, I think. Right, we see
Yeah.
a lot of times people are really good at like selling the product that they have to sell, or at servicing the customer, right? But to be able to understand, right, how to make both of these win,
yeah.
right?
That's a perfect point, because that's part of our like core values is
Yeah.
it needs to be a win for everybody.
Yeah.
And I look at that when I've wholesaled or even when I do still, and that's a shoddy territory to get into. I mean, I could talk all day.
I mean, right? You're in the hard money, private money, and wholesale
yeah.
world, right?
Which
Like,
are the like two slimiest parts of real estate. If you're,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right? They're
You have
not
to be
the
careful.
best rep in the game.
100%. And
Yeah.
there's a way, and I teach, the ASREB and do workshops. I teach people how to do it well and with
Good.
integrity. There's a way to do it, right?
For sure.
Just YouTube will tell you that you can do it in 5 minutes and with no money, and it screws the agent, right? The seller.
Yeah.
It screws everybody, but maybe the wholesaler makes some money. So I'm not going to get too into that. There are plenty of good ones out there.
We could do a whole podcast just on that.
I'll get on a soapbox. I won't get off. Like there is so much wrong with that, right?
There is.
AZDRE is trying to like crack down on some stuff, but nonetheless, it's really tough. But there's a way to do it and make it be a win for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Being fully transparent, disclosing what I'm making. I don't hide that where most
Yeah,
wholesalers do.
you're not just wrapping in the assignment and pretending it's not
When
there.
cutting it out of the contract and not letting anyone know. So we do it right, and
good.
there's a way to make it a win for everybody.
And I would say, like, from clients' experience and the loan officers that I've referred you to, right, that's pretty consistently the feedback is that there aren't a lot of people in that space where you feel like you can trust the feedback or the strategy they're giving you.
Yeah.
And so that's really unique and something we've really enjoyed about our time with BE Lending. Right, that's just it makes a good partner, right? When I know
Exactly.
I can go here's what it is,
Yeah.
completely transparent. We're
Yeah.
not hiding anything
No.
or packaging
Yeah.
anything in any way, and then we can trust that the feedback we get and the strategies
Yep.
that get deployed for our clients
Yeah.
are
Yeah, there's
on
no
that same integrity.
Right. And that's, I mean, it's all about relationships. We know
Sure.
everyone says that in this business, it's all relationships, but
Yeah.
when the rubber meets the road, like what's the proof of that?
Yeah, that's
And
what you find out, right? Really, who people are.
yeah. And I mean, it honestly, if you and I are working together and this has happened and I can't make it, or I can make it work, but it wouldn't be in the best interest of the
Yep.
client, I'll tell you, I'll send it back to you.
Yep.
I mean, we just did a marketing campaign and I got a couple phone calls, and it like I could have helped them,
Yep.
but it made more sense for them to go with you.
Sure.
So I'll lose the deal all day long. Wholesalers don't like us because of that.
Yep.
Most other hard money lenders are just looking at the numbers,
Right.
and then they don't do what they say they're going to do because they just have a different model than we do.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you being a bright spot in a
Yeah.
dark part of our industry. That's good.
Yeah.
I really appreciate
There's
that.
others out there. I'm not saying,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're not the only one.
Sure,
but
there's plenty.
Unfortunately, the bad outweigh the good in that space.
Which is why realtors get a little, off put when
Yeah.
they see a proof of funds from a hard money lender because it's like, is this really legit?
Yep.
So, I mean, I get it, but anyway, every single thing I've done is referral based. So I don't we just started doing some marketing, but it's literally, if I do nothing, my phone rings all day, and it's
Yep.
people that I
It's
know,
like
that
people
I
like me.
trust, that I've worked with, and they know that I'm not gonna screw
Yeah.
anybody over. And so a year, 2 years, I saw you speaking, or we talked on
Yep.
whenever, and I love, that's the
Yeah.
best part.
Right? And I mean,
know?
like solutions like the one we just did out of state, right, was like a really tough divorce situation.
Oof, yeah, that
right?
was.
Not finalized. Like client's excellently qualified, but
Yeah.
husband won't play ball, and it's in a community property state. So like, what do we do?
Yep.
Right? Like, how do we deal with that?
Yeah.
And not create issues for her, right, and her kids and the next season of life that she's trying to embark on. So like, just having solutions, right, where we can go like, we have a way to fix this.
Yeah.
Like I can't fix it.
Yeah.
Right, but you can fix it.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
right.
and vice versa sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what
I
makes a
love
good
it.
partnership. So
Yeah.
so right, a lot of growth and development, and it's a really cool story of how you got into both sides. And I think knowing both sides is really, really
Yeah.
powerful for what you do specifically in your
Yeah.
niche in the industry. Tell me about some of the ways you had to learn, or the hard way, or things you had to overcome in that development. It wasn't all just like yellow brick road,
Oh, gosh.
like paved with
Yeah.
like golden ease, and like I know you had to
Yeah.
overcome some stuff. So
A lot of
what are some
grinding.
challenges?
Yeah. I mean, I learn something new every day still today. You know what I mean? And I love that.
Okay.
And I think the mentality of being willing to learn and knowing I don't know what I don't know,
Yeah.
but then getting to a point where I do know what I do know and being confident in that's kind of the sweet spot, but still able to learn, right? Being teachable.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I was grinding, like I said, a straight draw, $2,500 a month draw for 3 years, and like,
Yeah, so you don't close. That's hard to eat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, there were great months, right? And you're on top of the world. And then there were a couple months that were like, I'm thinking, what am I going to do?
Well, how many times do you put together a proposal and then the deal falls apart for whatever reason?
Oh,
You're the contingent
hundreds.
offer and plan A comes
Hundreds of
through
times.
or whatever.
Yeah. But like, that's
Yeah.
where the beauty is. Like, that's where I learned all of the gritty, weird situation. Like, every deal's different. Every transaction's different.
Yeah.
Every property is different.
That's
every
my favorite
buyer
part of
is
the
different.
business, right?
Yeah.
It's not
and that's why I'm
mundane.
learning
It's never
every day.
monotonous.
And I love it. That's
Yeah.
why every day I'm learning something new. And, and it's baffling, it's humbling,
Yeah.
but it's so freaking good,
Yeah.
and doing that, and over time getting to a point where you're in a position where you have some value that you bring to the table
Right.
now because you've learned enough. That is
The
a
80-hour
really good
weeks
feeling.
Pay off.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're like, oh, like that sucked,
Yeah.
but look
I
at
wouldn't have
how-
known.
look at
I
how
wouldn't have
much
known
I
any of
can-
this.
Yeah, and you add value
Yeah.
then, right? It's not just like grinding for a result.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just for the sale or for the promotion or for the
Yeah.
fill in the blank. It's the expertise that comes with that.
Yeah.
Like serves at such a higher level.
Yeah.
That for me, that's like one of the really fulfilling things to watch
Yeah.
people do in their business.
Oh, I
right?
love it. Yeah. It's been amazing.
So it's good. I mean, similar viewpoints when
Yeah.
it comes to that.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, when you lead with that service mindset and when
Yeah.
you come with like, what value do I add? It makes it way more.
It's like
enjoyable.
flipping it on its head. Flipping it on its head. Like I can't tell you how many classes I've taught or meetings I've done, and people have like, do you charge for it? Never once have I. Never. It doesn't serve me. I'm happy to give free information to anyone. It has come back to me tenfold and more.
Yep.
I mean, I tell people, like, if you're trying to figure out how to wholesale and you want to pay someone $30,000, or like, I'll tell you
for their class,
I'll teach you.
Yeah.
I'll teach you for free. It's not that difficult. Just please do it right. Just do it the right way.
Correct.
So you don't screw up the industry, because it really isn't fair when it's done wrong.
Well, but are you gonna make it so I get a plane, right? In the fancy cars and the fancy suits, and are you gonna? What if you don't sell me that program? How am I ever gonna get those things in life?
I know. I'm sorry. That's not what I'm here to do. But I promise you, it'll be worth it. You
don't have to go very far to find the guy that'll sell you that.
I can tell you 4 names right off the top of my head. I'll keep quiet and let him do him. That's fine. But just don't. Yeah. You don't have to pay for that. And then the very opposite of that is just training yourself on YouTube and doing it wrong. Right? There's 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
But being open-handed, that's something Mike taught me, the owner of our company, and he is like one of the greatest men I've ever met. He's so smart. Such a good, generous, but super intelligent entrepreneur. And I was brand new, and I was wholesaling, and some wholesaler went around me to the seller to try to take the deal right from underneath me, right? And that's just, you don't do that. Now, it's a small enough industry now, we know who does that, right? Mm-hmm. But at the time, I was just like, this is not right, right? And I remember telling him, and he said, I was brand new on a draw, okay? And he goes, just be open-handed. Plenty of deals to go around. And I'm like, that's easy for you to say, buddy.
Yeah, right?
I know where you live and what you drive. It's a little bit harder, right? But it's absolutely amazing advice. Yep. So true. And to this day, just the more open-handed we are, we don't have to hold on to everything. And the market shifted. My referral base was almost entirely realtors for the first 5 years. And now the last 3 years, it's other lenders.
Yep.
And even private money lenders and brokers. That's like almost 100% of our business. And so I'm not afraid to go where another private money lender is, as some people are. Bring it. What can you do that I can't? What can I do that you can't? Let's just complement each other. Like, come on, get over it.
It's not always a turf war, right? Like sometimes
I'm so over that.
Yeah.
So I'll be open-handed about it.
Right. That mindset, right, and having some of that abundance mindset and being able to have some 100%. Of that worldview, right, like that allows you to collaborate instead of compete.
That's right.
And unfortunately, not everybody brings that. And
And it's hard when that scarcity mindset is what you're faced with. Yeah. And like, that's fine. I'm just going to do me this works.
It's really hard to remind yourself of when the deals aren't flowing, right? Like you said, right? When things are slow, or, I run in the same thing coaching LOs all the time, where like they've got one loan this month and and now there's something wrong with it, right? Yeah. And like having them being able to stand on principle and having them be able to like
still do the right thing,
operate out of fear of loss.
That's right.
Right? Like is a really challenging thing, because that's their only source of income. Right. So like the commission world is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, and I'm grateful I don't get paid that way anymore. So I'm profit sharing and have my base, and we do something different, and I've done this on purpose, where most realtors and lender LOs, they're paid straight commission, right? And so sometimes they're apt to push a deal through that may not be good for the company, so they can get paid. And so to circumvent that or mitigate it, at least some, our LOs are paid some base. Yep. Right? They have at least a decent base, and that's their loyalty to the company, right? And because we're asset based. We don't have big banks backing us, right? Sure. If a deal goes wrong, we take it back. We're on the hook, not our investors, us, right? So we don't want bad deals in our portfolio. We just don't. And so our LOs are, most of them, paid on a base and some commission per deal.
And you're non-recourse too.
Correct.
Can you explain what that means? Because most people probably have no idea what that means.
Yeah, so you and other LOs that have been on this podcast they're recourse lenders, right? The recourse is the borrower's assets, your income and credit prove your worthiness for credit.
And then if you don't perform,
we come after you, and they would come after you. The bank comes after your assets. They put it on your credit. all of the things.
Foreclosure on your house,
Yep.
it becomes our house,
Yep.
right? Not me
It's
personally, but like the
recourse
bank
lend.
owns it.
We're recourse lending. Non-recourse, truly non-recourse, because a lot of hard money lenders will say they're non-recourse.
Yeah.
Then they'll have you sign a PG. So I'll explain that. But non-recourse means the only recourse, asset-based, the only recourse is the asset itself.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why we do our valuations in-house and we don't rely on an appraiser.
Yep.
And their determination of value. We decide, and our underwriters are looking at it going, if we had to take it back tomorrow and fire sell it, what could we sell it for? We're going to base our terms on that. Not on what it's going to be worth after you tear it down,
Yeah.
mid-construction, don't make your payments, and now we have dirt lot. We're
Yep.
not going to lend you more than that's worth, right? So current value is what we lend on. And then we'll give rehab funds for the repairs, but nonetheless, the purchase is asset-based. So when you're looking at a house, we're not looking at your credit, your income, your
Right.
tax returns, your dental records, none of it. We really aren't qualifying the borrower. We're qualifying the asset.
Yep.
So the bottom line is, what do we think it's worth? We'll base our leverage on that, and we'll give you terms. And when we give terms, that's our final terms. We don't change it. We don't say we want an appraisal later. Like, that's it.
Yep.
But that's our recourse, not you.
Right.
So if we asked you to sign, or I'll say this, if you were to do a loan with us and then not make a payment, or just walk away and go to Mexico and go, this is too hard, or whatever, nothing happens to you.
Right.
Right, and unless you're committing fraud. There's a bad boy carve out in our loan docs.
Yeah.
But if
the
you
FBI
just
should be involved, then that's beyond
sure,
us,
yeah,
right?
fraud's
Like,
one thing.
yeah.
But if you just stop making your payments, throw the keys on the roof, and go to Mexico,
Yeah.
we just simply take the property back, and we are happy that we're not over leveraged.
Which is why one of your stipulations is you don't occupy, right? Because we don't want
We don't want to be.
families
We do not want to
in that
foreclose on your
scenario.
primary when you're sitting in there with your family, 100%. And it's technically, as licensed lenders, it's against the law in the state of Arizona to do a hard money loan on a
And a primary.
primary. But it's people
But
do
in all
it.
your states
not
you
in first
operate that way,
possession.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here, Arizona is a tough state for licensing. There are a lot of people that want to do private money lending in Arizona and they can't because of the licensing laws and
Yep.
brick and mortar and stuff like that. So we take it seriously when we follow the rules.
Yep.
So we do it on investment properties. We will do a second on a primary if we have a first on an investment property just
Got
for
it.
additional collateral. But the primary subject property is going to be an investment, right? And if you walk away, nothing happens to you. We take the property back, I list it, we get our money back, or we keep it like we did. We own a golf course because we took this Bel Air. We took it back in foreclosure. They never made a payment. And Mike decided we could be golf course owners. And it's been on the news. It's pretty badass. It's awesome. So like 8 bays, top tracer, the whole thing. It's
When are we
awesome.
gonna go play golf?
Yeah, tell me when you want a tea time.
Oh, that's good
I
stuff.
actually just started golf lessons
Oh, heck
like
yeah.
last week. Yeah, because I'm tired of being asked to be on a foursome and then just being there for the fun. I have to know how to play. So.
Yeah, there you go.
But nothing would happen to you. That's non-recourse. If I ask you to sign a personal guarantee,
Right, which is the thing you were talking about. You said
A
PG,
PG.
which is a personal guarantee.
right, and I won't name the other
Yeah.
big hard money lenders in our space that
Yeah.
are our competition, but they're bank leveraged and they mostly do require personal guarantees, making it actually a recourse loan.
Right.
So we're truly non-recourse, no personal guarantee.
Yeah.
We're not qualifying the borrower, which is why we can move quickly.
We see a lot of that time in the commercial space, right? The PGs are pretty like.
Yeah, in commercial, it's a little different. And we do commercial.
Yep.
So once in a while, depending on the deal, we'll do that. But yeah, it's pretty interesting what goes on. But it's such a different, the way that people have to qualify and the work that you have to do for your borrower
right.
is so intense,
Yeah,
right?
you don't
Compared
need-
to what
you
we
don't
do.
need-
We don't even need
You don't need a
TRID.
bank statement and a W-2 and a pay stub. And
We
all
don't
those
even
other fun
need to wait
things.
3 days for the CD. Like we
God
literally
bless
can
that.
close like cash,
Yeah.
and we get to kind of
Which
make
is
our own
also
rules.
a cool strategy, right? Even sometimes we talked about in the past where maybe they could get through all the hoops on my side, but
Yeah.
but that's still a financed purchase, right? They might be able to get better terms from the seller.
Yep.
Working with you, getting some ducks in a row,
Yep.
and refinancing out with
100%.
us, especially
Yeah.
if they're going to do some rehab that you can
Yep.
bake in with the ARV, which is right
Yep.
the after renovation.
Yeah, get it
value.
stabilized, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that started happening around COVID,
Yeah.
where people were under contract and then something happened with their credit, the appraisal didn't come in or whatnot, and they were going to lose the deal. And 2 seconds later, it would be on the market for more, right? So they weren't messing around with that. And then lenders or realtors would call us and go like, what do? We just need 2 months till I can get them refied out. We don't have a prepay. As long as they're not living in the property and they have the down payment, I mean, we closed one in 4 hours, just like that. So they didn't lose it.
You guys have prepays on all your stuff?
We don't have any.
Wow.
No. So which is where, like, you're like, I just need 60 days to get this credit up, or I just need X. Like, don't lose the deal. Right. I mean, we don't compete against conventional lending. Obviously, if they can do your way, that is the best all day long. Sure. Never should they not, unless there's a reason where they can't qualify, they're going to lose the deal, or they need to move quickly.
Yep.
And if that's the case, like, let's do it. But I really love working with you and your people and other lenders where they're the exit.
Yep.
Because we don't like them not to have an exit strategy. This is meant to be short term. It's a bridge, means to an end. So once they stabilize it or get their stuff together, they need to get out.
Right. Or get it renoed and flipped, right? Like, there's got to be an out.
Always want to know their exit. And if it's you, I'm like, oh, thank God. Matt's got it covered.
Yeah, it's fun when you know, right?
Yeah.
It's
It's so much easier.
It's not like this pie in the sky dream of like, oh, it's going to work this way because I watched a YouTube video and this guy told me that this is how it'll go.
Well, and we're walking alongside our borrowers. A lot of times we're teaching them as they go. If they're new and unseasoned, they will say, oh, the ARV is this, or, my wholesaler said X about whatever, or, they're not asking the right person. They're not doing their own due diligence. Yeah. And so we'll look at it and go, we're just saying you're overpaying. So maybe negotiate, right? Or your exit is to refi out. Who's your lender?
Yeah.
Like, start that now. Don't wait. I mean, you don't want to pay us interest any longer than you have to. It's expensive.
Yep.
So those holding costs really add up. So if your exit strategy is to roll out of our loan into a DSCR and SBA, call your lender now.
Yeah, which we do SBAs, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Which is so fun.
That's huge.
So, one more story on this and we'll move on. But like, I actually had a client recently that bought a house like 6-7 months ago, put some money into it. They didn't use you. They didn't listen to me. And went to refi out of the hard money, right? Because it's like carrying, $7-8 a month of just interest payments.
Totally.
Goes to refi out, and like the house is worth like $6,000 more than they paid for. And the appraiser's feedback was they overpaid for this house, and the improvements they did just brought it up to standard in the market, right? And like just didn't. Now, can you expand the search and find a comp and like piece it together?
Force
but
it.
But
everything, the numbers are the numbers.
Then everything in this model match in your neighborhood says X.
Yeah.
And if you go like this, you could maybe make a case for like, $80, $100 more.
Yeah.
But like in your market, it's this.
Yeah. And that's the case where
that's the piece where you having the real estate background and the way you guys do things, right? You actually
totally
help protect people
100%.
Because you're in the deal with them.
Yeah.
Your interests are aligned.
Yep.
And you're going to help that investor not make a bad deal.
Yep. We do it every day. It's just partnering with them. And it's really like a second set of eyes on their deal.
Yes.
Right? Because they've thought they're getting a good deal. They thought the rehab budget was accurate. Right. They thought their ARV was good. If those numbers are good, and that's what I teach, know your numbers. If those numbers are good, you should be good. Right? Your profit, your return should be there. But if those numbers are off in any shape or form, you could be screwed.
Yeah.
And if we're looking at it, we're going to look at the current value, the ARV, your rehab budget for that market in that area, and put our eyes on it and go, there's no way.
Yeah,
there's
a great
no
protection. Way. That is a great protection. That
we lose loans all the time. We literally, my favorite story is one of my favorite borrowers. She's a Scottsdale luxury realtor, flipper, one of our borrowers. She's awesome. And she knows how to run comps. She's a realtor. She's been doing this a long time. Yeah. And she sent us a deal that she got from a wholesaler. Okay. And she's been talking to him for a while, and so she kind of just took his word for things, just did a real quick glance at MLS, sent it to us. Assignment agreement was signed. We were getting her terms. We moved quickly on those. And my underwriter calls me and goes, what is she doing? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I don't want to insult her, but where is she getting, like, that she's overpaying the ARVs, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And so I gathered the information, I called her, and I'm like, hey, tell me you haven't deposited earnest money. Because it's hard immediately on wholesale. And she goes, oh my God. And so Scottsdale, I love it. Oh my God, I'm on my way right now, you know? And I go, give me like 2 minutes. And so she pulled over and I gave her the information. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't run my own comps. And she called and she canceled, which you can do. Her earnest wasn't in. The wholesaler was pissed at us and at her. He lost the deal. It wasn't a good deal. He shouldn't have got it under contract and bullshit the people, but that's what he did. And he was pissed, which is, that happens. But we lost the loan. We don't care. We saved her from freaking getting screwed.
Yeah, but the wholesaler, right, is only pissed for their
Himself.
own profit, right? Not for the client, right? It's not like the listing agent that goes, oh, I thought we had a deal here, right? And the buyer
very
backs
different.
out on the way to earnest money. Like, that's not the
very
situation.
different. No.
It's
someone was elevating the prices, not doing their own due diligence.
Somebody had already popped the champagne, and then you're like, wait, I call foul.
Yeah. And they don't like us. And I was sitting a few years ago, sitting down with, I won't say his name either, but he owns a very big company. He's on TV and all the things. Great guy. And we were going to be the preferred lender for their blast that they send out. And we had a great conversation. And right when we were getting done with our conversation, he said, one caveat. If we send you a deal and a borrower were to do a hard money loan and you don't think it's a good deal, just don't tell them. He legit said that to me. And I just said, peace out. We're not going to. Sorry, I can't guarantee that. They don't like it. So they prefer hard money lenders that are we just want the loan. Unreal. We don't give a.
That's on the wild side of the stories, right?
That's exactly.
Before we tell a couple more stories, tell me what's one of your biggest accomplishments so far, and then also what's the goal, right? Like, what are some of the things that you're most proud of, and then what are the things that you feel like this is the end we're chasing?
Most proud of, I think, is the rapport and the reputation that I've built for myself, that for the company we've built. Yeah. And it's easy. I tell our team this often, it's easy to sell this company, right? Yeah. I can sell the owner, I can sell our processor, our lender, our process, our underwriters. I know that every one of
those people is a value add in
100%. Yeah. And it's so easy. That's great. I'm not going to get someone in the door and then have them be pissed off later and get complaint or review because they dealt with someone else. I know. Yeah. What we're doing we're doing it right and we're doing it well, and I feel really good about that. So people will say all the time, and we're small. We don't do the marketing that these big companies do. But people are like, oh my God, I've heard about you. Or they'll say, oh, you guys have a lot of integrity. Or it's like, how we don't say that. How do they know that? Well, and I love that.
We have a mutual friend that I do some business with, and I was talking to Adam one time, and I was like, yeah, you need to talk to my hard money girl. And he goes, no, you need to talk to my hard money girl. And I was like,
we have the same girl.
We have the same hard money girl.
That happens a lot. Yeah. I had a guy call me and he goes, my realtor said I should call you. And then 3 days later, I get a call from a lender and he goes, hey, I've got a client that I need you to talk to. And I'm like, his realtor already sent him to me. I forget that. So
it's pretty cool.
That feels good.
That's really,
you know what I mean?
Right?
That's a huge win.
Yeah.
I love that. That speaks for itself. As far as trajectory and where I'm headed, financial independence is obviously a pretty hefty goal, and I love that. But continuing to learn, right, and grow, and we have some big goals for growth over the next few years for our company, and expansion, and I'm super excited about it.
That's awesome.
So I've been here 10 years. I don't plan on going anywhere. I just love what I do. I'm building a team. I'm hiring right now.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple positions. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, but
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Well, yeah, and that, how do we get better? How do we evolve? How do we grow?
Yeah.
Right? That never gets stale. And,
yeah, I love it.
I think something I found doing this with a lot of people across various parts of our industry is there's very few let me just hit this flash in the pan and get out. Mm-hmm. It's the people that are in it are like, I could do this forever.
Yeah.
And as long as like the Lord gives me strength and the ability to communicate and
100%.
my brain works, like I could do this. I don't have I need to exit, right? I'm not at a job where I'm like, let me just sacrifice 9 to 5 for 40 years so I can get that, right?
Yeah.
So I can go live in
miserable.
in Tampa,
Yeah.
right? Or whatever. You know?
I've never felt like that here.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's interesting because, like I said, I worked at a church, right, doing ministry for 6 years. And here I am in private money, investment real estate. And I feel like we're doing just as much ministry as
cool?
when I worked at the church. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. We just do the right thing.
Well, because you bring what connected you, right? And you had that job at the church, right? That piece of who you are still conveys in the secular industry world as well, right? So like you bring that to real estate.
Yeah.
And sometimes has a bigger impact.
That's the shocking thing that I found. Yeah. And I love it.
That's
and the owner of our company he's going to Africa and I went with Chris Lumberg's team, One Mission.
Yeah.
Love Were you mission. There? We both went. Built a house in Mexico.
I've gone on a number of One Mission trips.
I think I saw you.
We saw you, but we were on different teams.
Right.
Yeah.
But we went on the same trip, right? And took my boys. He paid for, owner of our company, Mike. He paid for me and the boys to go, and like just amazing opportunities. Yeah. And then we can still carry that, vision and heart into everything we do. Yeah. Everything.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. All right, let's wrap with a couple stories. What do you have that's like the wild side of our business, right? The thing you see, the scenario, right? The stuff that you can tell without incriminating somebody else, because a lot of times borrowers or agents will bring me like, situations that I'm like, okay, we're gonna pretend you never said that, right? And here's why you can never do that.
Yeah.
Right, like. Good luck if you go find another lender to do that for you.
Yeah, and they're out there.
But then don't call me.
It's not going to be me. Yeah.
Then we're done. Right.
Yeah.
So aside from like the really incriminating ones, like what are some good-natured wild things that you've incurred?
Dealing with investment real estate and flips, there's squatters and there's drug houses and there's hoarder homes. And so all of that, it just feels like, anyone can see that on HGTV. I mean, it's crazy and wild. And when I first started, I was like, better wear closed-toed shoes. This is wild. But I think the craziest thing was this gentleman. I'm so kind to call him a gentleman. This gentleman that was selling us his house. We were going to do a wrap. We were going to do some creative financing. I was going to find a buyer. It was, right up against Camelback. And I went to his house, and every time I would go, he requested, I didn't do it. He requested that I lay down flat on my stomach in front of a bunch of candles. That was his request. Yeah. So he was, and this is pre-COVID or anything, where right now people are talking about bunkers and going off grid. This was before. He had some foresight, but he was crazy. Yeah. And he was an addict. And so he was like running some kind of sober living home, but in order for these people to get healthy, they like had to lay in front of candles and do all this stuff, right? The house, here's the premise. The house was entirely black. The walls, the floor, the ceiling, the interior of the pool, even though there was no water in it. There were chains hanging from ceilings. I mean, it was crazy stuff. So whenever...
How many times did you go visit
I had to go multiple times, but like I had to put a sign out, and then I had to do this, and I had to take pictures, and I had to meet the contractor and like stuff like that. And
Tell me, like, after the first time you didn't go alone.
I didn't go, well, I would go, and it was middle of summer, like so freaking hot. I would go and leave my car door open and car running, and then knock on the door, and then I wouldn't go in, right? I would say what I needed to say or give him what I needed to give him, but he would request that. He would always say, let me tell you, this will change your life, all this stuff. I mean, it's those tall, skinny, like Catholic candles. Yeah. But he had
He's like
all
cleansing
white.
Your aura or something, or what?
It was even wackier than that. But he had like 100 of those candles, and then he insisted that this mode of operation worked. So it was wild. And then when we closed on the property, he told me there's a room that's locked, and I locked myself out of it because I don't trust myself, and I don't have the key. He just told me that. So when we took over the property, I mean, it was insane, the stuff we found. Not locked. Insane.
Did you get into the locked room?
We got in the locked room. There was I can't say even some of it. It was so wild. But like computers that...
Oh, I so wish that you would have brought me on this
needles, like just
wild.
like he would lock them up from himself, you know what I mean? And from the people he was helping. Yeah, it was, so that takes the cake for me as far as experiences at properties. Like that was pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to some, like I went to meet with a client one time and quickly realized this gentleman has zero interest in selling his house, even though that's what the agent was like, hey, right? We got this listing that's getting ready to go live, and he needs to qualify for buying the next house, and he needs to understand, like, you know, all of his options for this move down situation. It's a nice house up in North Scottsdale, like Cave Creek area. And so I show up, and I'm like, this guy's not selling this house.
What?
This guy just wants to show everybody his house.
His crazy? Was it a crazy house or was it beautiful?
Wasn't crazy. He's a super nice guy. Not crazy.
Oh,
like,
interesting.
Some of the design was crazy, right? Like he had some like afterthought stuff. He built it, designed it himself. But like all he wanted was for someone to show up so he could like walk him through. Like
he was lonely?
Yes. Like 3 houses in one house, but all of the people that were supposed to be filling this house are no longer living there. Right? Like it was just this sweet old guy. He was like, I just want you to like
switch.
Like look at this thing that I built, and I did it this way. And like 45 minutes it took us to walk this guy's house. And it was like,
yeah, and you have to be so gentle.
Yeah, right. So not weird and
Poor
crazy.
guy. Okay.
But also
different.
like you show up to a property, you never know.
You
You
never know.
You think you're walking in for one thing, and it's something different.
And we see people how we are, right? And so we're just like, oh yeah, they're probably normal.
Yeah.
And then they start talking, and you're just like, oh,
yeah,
this is interesting.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good one. Anything else to share?
Probably more than offline. We don't want to broadcast it.
So the next time that we have the industry cigar hang.
That's on the 5th.
It's on the 5th.
Yep.
At Fox and Gilbert.
Yep.
So Reynette will be
Fox or Puro?
Fox. We're going to Gilbert.
Oh, okay,
Fox.
okay. That was where taking it back.
Taking it back.
Okay, love it.
Yeah.
We play some pool.
Move around a little bit.
Love it.
Fox Gilbert on the 5th. If you're in the industry, come have a cigar and have a cocktail with us. And Reynette's got stories apparently. So we'll look forward to that. Thanks
I'll
for
tell
being
him
here.
there. Thank you, Matt.
Awesome. Always good to see you.
Love it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.